Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Tori if you're new here, and I'm coming to you from my basement. I wanted to show you some things that I am picking up for my long-term food storage this week, and I'm going to show you how I stored it and all that jazz. So if you're new here, I'd love it if you hit that subscribe button. I noticed a lot of you are. If you're comfortable, I'd love to know who you are, where you're from, and how long you've been prepping or what brought you to my channel. I'd really enjoy getting to know each and every one of you, and yeah, let's get into this. I did want to give a brief update just because I've been on YouTube for quite a long time, and this channel has evolved into different kinds of niches, we shall say. So I am currently pregnant with my third child. She should be coming. If you are new here, I have a second channel and it explains in my most recent video what's going on with her. We've had some complications, so if you're interested in that, you can check it out over there, but it may explain an absence or two coming up in the next few weeks, or maybe if I'm appearing different or anything like that. So I did want to get that out there. Everything is okay. We are in good hands. I just want to give everyone an update on this channel, what's going on. So if you want to go ahead and check out that video or even subscribe to that channel, that would be cool too. All right, we are going to get into this. It is a pretty basic list. Okay, so I feel like long-term food storage looks different in everyone's pantry, but my long-term food storage is trying to go beyond the 2 years, if not 10 to 20 years. So I do have a video on items that last indefinitely, and that's really what I focus on when it comes to long-term food storage. There are some items in that list that really don't bother us because we don't enjoy it, and I say it on the channel a lot. Definitely prep what you actually like, or it might go to waste, or if you're creative like me and hate wasting food, you might find a way to use it for something. But what's important here today is keeping it budget friendly and being able to store it safely for long-term food storage. We do plan to move across the country in the upcoming years, so moving my stash, my stock, is a little tricky for me when it comes to long-term food storage, but I am keeping it pretty basic until we get to our forever home. So that's where I want to have it set up, and I will feel much more comfortable once we get there when it comes to prepping our food. So without further ado, I'm going to turn you around, show you what the item is, and then show you how I'm storing it. And it's pretty simple. I think everybody can do this, and I think you can put away a little at a time or a lot, depending if you have the funds to buy bulk up front. That is preached in the prepper community, to buy bulk, and I totally get that. I've been there, but sometimes you don't have the funds to buy 50 pounds of flour. Maybe you only have the funds to buy a bag of flour, and that's totally fine too, as long as you are thinking of the future and thinking of yourself and your family in a prepping sense. So prepping for any emergency that may come about. I'm going to get you turned around and show you how I'm doing this. All right, I have you semi-organized here, but I wanted to show you the things that I plan to put away in these Mylar bags, and then what I have. This is more of a grab and go take. So this is our long-term food storage that we would just grab and put in the car, but we have a little, we have a lot more than this. So yes, again, I've said it in the last video, but conceal your preps as best as you can. I just got a comment recently telling me to not talk about my preps, and I said it in the last video. We have ways to protect our preps. If my community is in desperate need of food, then they can absolutely have it. But if there is a threat upon my house, I have a way to protect myself and my family. And that's important. I feel like besides water, that should be your number one prep, but that is just personal to the prepper and their home. So here we go. This is what I am putting away. I've already started on some pinto beans, but I wanted to show you the Mylar as well. So I'm putting away some jasmine rice. This was at the Dollar Tree. Typically these are $1.25. These were 25 cents, and I found it not when you first walk in. If you didn't know, Dollar Tree does have discounted items like on seasonal stuff, but it was, I want to say it was next to my food. It was a new Dollar Tree, so I don't know exactly exactly what was going on. It's a new Dollar Tree. It's pretty far away from me. If you're in Colorado, just email me and I'll let you know where it was. But anyways, these were on sale for 25 cents. So I picked up a bunch of these and I'm going to put them in Mylar. And I store my rice. This is long rice. And this is when I did this one. This was $5.22. But I put the rice in here, and typically I put how much is in there, which I didn't this time, which is, it's fine. That's okay. And then I heat sealed at the top of the bag. So you can put oxygen absorbers in here. You definitely should. The only thing that you're not doing an oxygen absorber with, that's a little heavier. Wow. Is going to be sugar, and there's other items, but we don't prep them. So yes. Anyways, rice, it can go in your Mylar storage like this. It could go into a glass jar with an oxygen absorber there. I don't know if you can see that. But I suggest Mylar because it's light, tight, and it seals. It is rodent proof essentially, but I do keep it in just like an ammo box here. This is from For Patriots, but you can find them just about anywhere. So rice, that is my first one on the list. Inexpensive, cheap, goes with a lot, and specifically white rice. Do not try and do brown rice long term, or that will spoil. There's an oil in there and it will just go rancid, so you don't want that. Next up, green lentils. I get the organic variety at Whole Foods. That is the cheapest I have found it. Lentils are great. They are 8 grams of protein, but you do have to check because some of them have different spices and seasonings in them, and all you really want is organic green lentils. I went back and forth about storing lentils. I thought it was more like a brown rice scenario where it could go rancid, but I've seen many preppers store lentils. I want to know your thoughts on this. Don't call me out or anything, but let me know if you've heard anything about lentils and what kinds store the best, because I've heard green lentils store the best. So green lentils, they can go in a bag here. Again, I showed you my pinto beans. We get these locally from a pinto bean farmer. They are my age. They're just up the road here. Big shout out to you. I know you watch the videos, Casey and Jay, but anyways, I got my pinto beans from them. I just do a 50-pound bag and I just bring my own bucket. It's just easier. And then, well, I bring my own buckets and then I just, I go through them. I don't really need to. They have a pretty good setup there where they sift out any rocks or any debris or anything like that. I don't wash these or anything before I put them in here, but I like to make sure when you are preparing beans, dried beans like this, you definitely should look through them to make sure there's no rocks or anything like that. But I do have an oxygen absorber in there and I think they will be just fine. I'm just going to date them on the top. I can see that they're pinto beans, so I'm not going to label what this is, but I did want to put that in there. And then again, sugar, that stores indefinitely. And I find these 4-pound bags at Target. Good and Gather has sales for 30% off, 15% off, 40% off. So I just wait until it gets to the highest percentage, and that's when I grab a bunch of these. So yes, they are small, but they fit in Mylar real well, and they fit in glass as well. No oxygen absorber though. You can look up why, but it's just not safe. So yes, sugar is a good one. And then over here, I have some salt. Salt stores indefinitely, and you can use it for a variety of things. This time I got the iodized salts. I have not stored, Himalayan pink salt or Redmond's Real long term. I'm sure that is probably the best to store when it comes to long-term food storage. Let me know in the comments your ideas and your thoughts behind that one, because my favorite is Redmond's Real, or like a Celtic sea salt. I love flaky salt. That's a thing out here in Colorado. They always put it with their breadboards with oil and vinegar and a fancy salt you put on your butter, but it's delicious. So we love it. But anyways, I don't know which salt is the best to store. This is the cheapest though, so I grabbed this when it's on sale. Usually it's 52 cents, but it's Good and Gather, and it was 40% off with my sugar, so I grabbed like 10 of these. They have plenty of salt. I don't feel bad clearing a shelf when it comes to salt, because they had plenty left. I didn't really clear the shelf Anyways, let's get into this. This is what I prepped this week. I think we did good because I really only spent $12.33, I think it was. I did have to go to 2 stores to factor in the gas, but pasta's a good one to store. As you can see, the oxygen absorber did a good job. But I will say, when I first started Mylar bagging, I expected all of my bags to form to whatever is in here, and that's not necessarily what happens. Again, check out my video on long-term food storage. I go into depth as to why, but pasta, it stores indefinitely and it's super cheap. So that's a good one to have. I have more pinto beans. I know everyone will be surprised at that. And then I have pasta in here again. I have couscous. That's a good one. I love couscous, but it tends to get expensive. Make sure you're getting just plain couscous, not the kind with flavor in it. I've made that mistake. I will say I'm no expert when it comes to prepping, but I've learned some things along the way, and all of you have told me your ideas and tips and tricks. So thank you to all of you. We have kidney beans in here. That kind of formed to it. Yeah. So I don't know, that it doesn't tell me like the oxygen absorbers are working, but it's some good reassurance. I have dried lima beans in here. I was unsure of those too, but I am very confident that they will be just fine. I love lima beans. I feel like I have not met a person who likes lima beans. Let me know in the comments. Do you like lima beans? I think they're delicious. I have some more kidney beans in there, as well as some garbanzo. I have some long rice in here, as well as some more long rice. So let's talk about this. This is a box that I can grab and go, put it into our car with our bug out bags, and really go from there. My only concern about grabbing and going and getting in the car is water. So we would take our jugs of water that we already have in the car, and those are whatever gallon you want, essentially, you can put in your car. And then we have some fresh mountain springs that we can get to in the event of an emergency. And we have all of our gear, if we need to camp, if we need to travel, if we need to get out, essentially a bug out bag. If we need to bug out, then that's what we need to do. So I have all that settled, but a lot of this, looks and may taste boring. So I would take another one of these like ammo boxes here, and I would put some canned protein in there. I would put maybe some garlic powder. I have salt, obviously, but just a flavor, and then maybe a can of tomato sauce, just so we can have some meals like that. So my plan is to have a second box like this, and that box will contain protein and flavor, and that should be good for food. A lot of people, not a lot, I've had comments in the past telling me that in the event of an emergency and all of that happens, they'll just hit up the grocery store. No, I don't think that's a good idea. I just really don't think that's a good idea, but you do you. So this was a quick video tonight. Again, if you watch my other video, it explains kind of where my head's at with YouTube right now, and what I'm planning on sharing. So I'm going to continue showing what I'm stocking up on this channel, and how to stock up on a budget, because I think it is important, especially now. My last video said I would not be going to the grocery store, and let me get you turned around so I could explain that a little bit more. So my last video said no more grocery store. I didn't make that clear. It was no more big box stores, so no more Walmarts, no more Targets. Am I starting this tomorrow? No, but I plan to start it, and I'll let you know when I do it so you can follow the journey. But my plan is to support local farms, and my plan is to utilize my garden, grow enough foods on our own property to preserve and last us through the whole year. So essentially, the only time we will need to buy from the farm is if we do meat and dairy and milk. So that is where I'm getting that kind of thing. A lot of people have pause when I say that, but again, I told you it was about being on a budget and it was about the ingredients that they're putting in our food. So I'm trying to keep it simple, just trying to keep basic ingredients in the house. Alrighty everyone, that is going to do it for today's video. I hope this gave you some inspiration to prep some more long-term food items. Don't forget to check out my Foods That Last Indefinitely. That's linked in my emergency preparedness playlist. And again, if you're curious about this pregnancy or anything that we do homemaking, homesteading related, head on over to the other channel. Those videos are just a little bit more longer and a little bit more personal. So if you're curious about our story or our family, you can head on over there and check out our more lifestyle content. Again, if you're new here, I'd love it if you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you let me know what you stock up on for your long-term food storage in the comments below. And I look forward to chatting with every single one of you. As always, stay adventurous, stay creative. I'll catch you on the next one. Bye, everyone.